Welcome to the Say It Out Loud podcast. I'm your host, Vasavi Kumar. If you're eager to gain clarity, speak with unwavering confidence, and liberate those inner voices, you're in the perfect spot. My mission here is to empower you to break free, find fulfillment, and ignite your passion. You ready? It's time to say it out loud. I've put together a guide of my top 10 tested and proven to work practical strategies and habits to help bright women like you say no, set your boundaries right, live confidently, and build healthy relationships, starting with the relationship you have with yourself. This is a self-paced guide, and I can't wait for you to dig into it so you can start becoming your most confident self, because she's in there waiting for you. Head to the link in my show notes or go to vasavikumar.com/guide and grab it today. Welcome back to another episode of the Say It Out Loud podcast. It's me, Vasavi. I am forcing myself to do something today that I've really needed to do. And that is to allow myself to speak freely on this podcast. I have a little confession to make, y'all. I have really been feeling blocked in my throat, and I'm finally starting to feel it being unblocked in my throat. Now, there are a few things that I am actively working on to unblock my throat chakra, but if you have been feeling like your expression, your voice has just felt a little stifled and suffocated, and like you just can't seem to find the words to say what you want to say, then this episode is for you. Because whether you are in a relationship, you are a content creator, you're a business owner, you are in marketing, it doesn't matter where you're at, or what industry you're in. We have our voice and we need to use it. And if you're feeling blocked in your throat chakra, it's going to be really hard to do that. And I've just noticed that, especially for the past few episodes, I have felt so stifled in my expression. Like usually I have all these notes when I record an episode. And while I love being structured and I love having notes and all that stuff, I found that I was doing that because I wasn't trusting my voice. And I felt like I had to almost script everything out in a way. And this is something that we're going to be working on inside of my free masterclass, Release Your Blocks, Embrace Your True Self, happening October 10th at 12 p.m. Central. The link is in my show notes for you to join the masterclass. But yeah, I mean, in full transparency, y'all, I've been feeling really blocked in my throat, and it hasn't felt good at all. And so a few things that I've been doing to unblock my throat is, number one, is that I admit it out loud. I have been acknowledging and admitting to my closest friends, to my therapist, to myself, that I've been feeling a little stifled and stuck, like especially when it comes to this podcast. And like, here's the thing, this podcast is called Say It Out Loud. I can talk about anything on this podcast. And I think that's where I've been feeling hesitant to say out loud the things that I want to talk about, because there's such a wide range of topics that I can cover on this podcast. I was even on my Instagram and on my Threads account, and I asked and I was on TikTok actually. And I posted a video on TikTok and I was like, what do you want me to talk about? Because I was like, let me go ask the people. And I got a lot of response. And some people were like, I have a daughter, help me figure out how to communicate better with my daughter. Someone else was like, my self-talk is shit. I need help with my self-talk. So it's like, okay, we can talk about all of this on the Say It Out Loud podcast. But I think where I've been a little hesitant is that the range of topics that I can talk about is so great that it's like, where do I even begin? So I made a promise to myself today, and I said, you know what? I'm just going to go into my recording studio. I'm going to hit record. I'm going to see what comes out of my mouth, and here we go. And so the best place for me to start is by telling the truth, acknowledging and admitting where I've been and how I've been feeling. And I want to invite you, wherever you're at right now, whatever you're doing right now, if you're feeling stuck, if you're feeling afraid, if you're in fear right now, just admit it. Admit that you're in fear right now. Acknowledge that you're afraid right now. Say it to somebody. And if you don't have anyone that you can say it to yourself. But I want to emphasize that this is why community is so important. This is why I have my Say It Out Loud group. We begin in January. I'll put the list in the show notes. I'll put the link in the show notes for the wait list for that. But it's like so important to have a community of people that you can say it out loud to. But the very first step is to admit it and to acknowledge it. So here I am on my podcast, acknowledging to all of you that it's been a little rough for me. It's been rough for me to say it out loud. It's been rough for me to sit and record these episodes because it's like, where do I even begin? And just by acknowledging it freed me up so much. It just released the resistance that I was experiencing around having this blocked throat. And I realized what it really boils down to, you guys, is this fear of saying something wrong, right? Like, and I don't usually ever get that way. Like, I don't usually ever feel like I'm going to say something wrong. I'm very intentional with my words. And the fact that I've been feeling this way just told me that there might be something deeper. So I explored it, and I'm continuing to explore it. And I think what it has to do with is this. I have taken a break from the podcasting, from being on camera, being on video for a little bit of time. I've just been working with my clients, focusing on filling up my retreat, which is happening in May. If you didn't know about my retreat, by the way, I have a retreat coming up. Say it out loud. It's happening in May in Playa del Carmen, Mexico. The link is in the show notes to register. We're in early bird right now until November 30th. You could save $500 off, but I've just been working on my stuff, and I haven't really done a lot of like podcasting and camera stuff and video stuff. And so it's just practice. And when I realized that I've just been out of practice a little bit, and it's like getting back on a bicycle and just start riding again or start to swim again. So I started to feel better because it's like, okay, it's not that I've lost my voice completely. It's just that I haven't exercised using it in this way. I haven't exercised using it podcasting and talking into the mic. I haven't used it by getting on camera and getting in front of the camera and videoing myself and, spitting truth bombs for my social media clips, It's been hard. And I'm not trying to make this episode be all about how hard it's been and all that stuff, but I'm just like being really straight up with you guys because maybe you're going through this right now. Maybe you feel right now like your throat is stuck and you just can't seem to get the words out. And so I want to invite you, no matter what you're doing right now, to just stop and say out loud, I'm okay. I'm going to figure this out. I'm okay. I'm going to figure this out. And I think just saying that to yourself will just put the power back in your hands, because your self-talk can truly be your enemy if you do not learn how to speak to yourself. I cannot tell you how I work with so many people who may take the correct actions. They may be doing all the things, but their self-talk is absolute garbage. And I say that with so much love, but the way that people that I sometimes work with or come across, even friends, the way they talk to themselves is like, whoa, you are really hard on yourself. And I noticed I was doing the same thing. I noticed that I was doing the same exact thing. I was really beating myself up for having a blocked throat. I was really being hard on myself, getting down on myself, because I just felt like something was wrong with me. And I'm back. I refuse to just live in fear and be afraid of saying the wrong thing. I'm going to use my platform to spread the message, to spread the word, to help other people. And it's just about recommitting to yourself. So the first thing you do is admit it, acknowledge it out loud. Second thing is to share it with somebody, share it in community, share it with yourself. And third thing is to really say out loud to yourself, I'm okay. I'm going to figure this out. Like, you have to allow yourself to release that resistance. And the way you go about doing that is, first of all, just owning it out loud, saying it out loud, admitting that it's hard, admitting that maybe you don't know what you're doing and you need some help. Like, it's okay to ask for help. Matter of fact, today, I just hired a business coach for the month. We're doing a session on Friday because I was stuck in some areas, and I was like, okay, I really need help with this. I'm going to ask so-and-so to help me. And I hired a coach. I worked with her last month. I'm working with her this month. And I'm like, okay, so it's like asking for help when you're feeling stuck, when you're feeling afraid, is the most courageous thing you can do. The next thing that you can do that is super courageous is actually learn how to speak to yourself with kindness, because when you do, like, that is the ultimate form of self-love, in my opinion. You can biohack all you want, go to sauna, do the cold plunges, get massages, get your nails done, do all that stuff, go to sound bowl healings. All of that is wonderful. But if you do not know how to speak to yourself, and if you talk to yourself like an asshole, life is going to feel really hard. And that's exactly what I noticed I was doing. I was talking to myself like an asshole. Me, the queen of self-talk, the person who wrote a book on self-talk called Say It Out Loud. That is the name of my book. I wrote an entire book on self-talk, and I noticed that my self-talk was so shitty these past few weeks because I was struggling in this particular area of my throat being blocked. It just felt really stuck and afraid to open up and voice my truth out loud. And so this is me voicing my truth out loud on my podcast. And I hope it inspires you to acknowledge where you may be feeling stuck, where maybe you feel like you need some help. Once again, there's absolutely everything right with you asking for help. Absolutely. And so if you need any help, I'm here for you. You can DM me on my Instagram at my name is Vasavi. I have lots of resources for you guys, for those of you who want to work together one-on-one or in a group or live and in person. I have a retreat coming up. We have the Say It Out Loud group coming up in January. That is a virtual group. And I also have my one-on-one sessions. And all of it is intended to help you not only transform your life, your business, but most importantly, your self-talk. So what I want to ask you is this: how often do you catch yourself saying things like, I'm not good enough, I can't do this? Because here's the thing, we all have that voice in our heads. But today, I want to talk about the 5 things I absolutely refuse to say out loud to myself. These are the same thoughts that hold us back. And once you remove them, the freedom and power that come next are transformative. So let's dive in. So I've already shared with you guys that my self-talk has been really shitty these past few weeks. And I've had to really work hard on reframing those thoughts and rewiring the way that I speak to myself. And I'm going to just dive right in. Okay. So let's just jump into the 5 things I don't say to myself anymore. Number 1, I don't say to myself anymore, I'm not good enough. Why? Because it undermines my confidence and self-worth at the core. And the way that I shifted it is by reframing and reminding myself that I'm inherently worthy no matter what I achieve or fail at. An alternative thought is I'm enough as I am and I'm always growing. Boom. Instead of telling yourself I'm not good enough, say I am enough as I am and I am always growing. This is how I want you to think about it. How would you coach a little child? How would you talk to a kid who tells you I'm not good enough? What would you say to that child? You are good enough. You're always growing. You're learning. Like, that's how you would talk to a young child, right? I would hope so. But this is where you get to reparent and rewire and retrain the way that you speak to yourself. So the first thing that I don't ever say to myself is I'm not good enough. The second thing that I don't say to myself is that I am broke. And I'll tell you why it's harmful is because it locks you into a scarcity mindset, which affects how you approach opportunities, relationships, and success. And how I shifted it was, instead of saying I am broke, I focus on abundance and what's coming my way. Instead of looking at what I don't have, I focus on what I already have and what's coming my way. And that requires an immense amount of trust, faith, and belief. An alternative thought is I am in the process of building wealth, right? So instead of saying I am broke, I'm in the process of building wealth right now. You are in the process. You are in the process. It's not I am broke, final, done, period, over. It's I'm in the process. We are all in the process of doing something, right? We are on a journey. So try that for a reframe if you find yourself saying I am broke. Number 3, I hate my body. I don't say mean shit about my body to me or to anybody. It's harmful. It disconnects you from self-love and gratitude for the body you live in. And I focus on honoring my body and I treat it like my home. This goes with the words that I'm speaking and feeding to my body, the food that I'm eating and feeding to my body, what I'm drinking and putting in my body, what I'm eating, what I'm paying attention to, the media that I'm consuming, the people that I'm spending time with. Honoring your body and treating it like your home, because it is the one home that we have. And a reframe, if you want to find an alternative thought, is I honor and respect my body for all that it does, right? Instead of saying like, I don't like my love handles, my thighs brush against each other. How many of you have ever said that to each other or to yourself? Sorry. How many of you have ever said that to yourself? I know I have. Oh, my thighs are chafing. My thighs are rubbing against each other. They're so fat. Like that's literally what I would say to myself. And here I am with this one beautiful sacred vessel. And that's how I'm going to talk about myself? Hell no. So I don't make comments on my body anymore. Now, number 4, I can't do this. This is a hard one for me. This was really, really hard for me because I say I can't do this a lot. It's the first thought in my head that pops up when I'm confronted with resistance. I can't do this. It just stops progress before you even start, and it convinces you to give up prematurely, right? That's why it's so harmful, because before you even start, you're giving up. And the way that I shifted it is that I asked myself how I can get support to make it happen. So remember I told you I hired that business coach. That's exactly what I did. Instead of saying, I can't do this, this is hard, I can't figure this out. Well, who do I know that can help me, right? And then an alternative thought is, what do I need to do? What do I need to make this happen? Who do I need to go to help me with this, right? Like if you can start to train your brain to just ask yourself, who do I know that can help me with this? And what do I need to make this happen? Like what support do I need? What resources do I need? What information do I need? Get really curious about what you need to go from I can't do this to what do I need to do to make this happen? Who do I need to turn to help me with this? And the last thing I don't say to myself is that I need to be perfect. It's harmful because it leads to paralysis by perfectionism and creates a fear of failure. I mean, we all know this, right? Like I need to be perfect in how I do everything is not a sustainable way of life and way of living. And now I focus on progress over perfection and understanding that mistakes are a part of growth. Just like 2 days ago, I was officiating a wedding and I was in Hill Country in Texas, this beautiful location. And the bride and groom have a stepson. So the bride has a son from her previous marriage or relationship. And during the ceremony, instead of saying the groom's name, by accident, I said the son's name instead. And I'm on a loudspeaker here. So it's like you can hear my mistakes. And I just corrected myself and I just kept going. And I was like, nope, not going to beat myself up. Just keep going. Nobody probably even noticed. And even if they did, it's okay. Mistakes happen. So an alternative thought would be, I'm a work in progress and that's okay. Those are the 5 things that I just don't say to myself anymore. I want you to think about what phrases or thoughts you frequently say to yourself that are holding you back. What are the narratives running in your mind that need to change? So here's a quick exercise you can do today to shift your self-talk, okay? Take out a piece of paper and write down the top 3 negative things you say to yourself. For each one, rewrite it into a positive, empowering statement that aligns with how you want to feel and what you want to believe about yourself. So if you say to yourself, I'm not good enough, a positive reframe would be, I am more than enough and I am constantly growing. That is beautiful. That you are more than enough and you are constantly growing. Because would you not say that to someone that you loved? Absolutely. You are worthy of that love too. So I want you to place these new statements somewhere visible, like on your mirror or your phone, like on a bathroom mirror, and start saying them out loud each day. And I want to remind you of this. Changing your self-talk doesn't happen overnight, but it's one of the most powerful ways to shift your reality. The thoughts you refuse to entertain are just as important as the ones you choose to embrace. So if you are really committed to embracing and taking control of your inner dialogue and start living unapologetically, first announcement, Say It Out Loud group starts in January. This is my 9-month transformational self-talk program where we will rewire the way you speak to yourself, train yourself to treat yourself with more kindness through your habits, through your mindset, through your self-talk, through your relationship to your body. And we start soon. We start in January, but I want you to go ahead and first put your name on the wait list because we will open our doors probably mid-November or December, but just go ahead and get your name on the wait list and that link will be in the show notes. And lastly, I want to say thank you for tuning in. Be sure to subscribe to the podcast so you don't miss out on any future episodes. And if this episode inspired you, share it with a friend who might need it. And I really want you to remember that what you say to yourself shapes your reality. So, as always, say it out loud. And let's start saying what matters. If you love today's episode, then say it out loud. Subscribe, leave a review, and come say hi over on Instagram at My Name is Vasavi. Until next time, say it out loud.